We are back like we never left. This is the Dream and Spree podcast. I'm your host, Jake Healy. Our other host and super producer, Mike Theophil, is here.
Guys.
Our guest today is you're breaking down barriers too. Like you're getting people from outside of this community into this community to hopefully keep coming back and
that's a really key thing.
Yeah.
We want to. One of the reasons why we're heavy external artists is because I want people from other states, to go. Wait, our Colorado muralist went here. What's that?
Right.
Oh, this Brooklyn well-known muralist went. What's Bridgeport? So it goes back to me saying, we want to shout out to the world. Hey, look at Bridgeport. Bridgeport.
Do you remember Rampage skate park? It was right off exit 25.
Here?
Off exit 25 in Bridgeport.
Remember, I'm new to Connecticut.
Okay, so they closed 2 years ago. It used to be called Rampage Skate Parks. They build skate parks all over the country, all over the world. That's like what they did. But they had a half pipe set up in front of it and all these different skate ramps that they built. And then the outside of the building, it was just like a square kind of normal factory kind of building. But they would let artists come and do like nice graffiti pieces, murals and stuff. But when they lost that, when they closed that place, somebody else bought it. Like all those people lost that spot to be able to go and legally do street art,
I mean, eventually, we're trying to really establish a norm of what mural art should look like, and I can't even say should look like. I mean, we're just trying to create this hub here, right? And then once this is created, we want to branch out and expand out in this area. Listen, Wynwood is such a success model. I always say, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Follow a success model, and then make it your own.
Yeah.
And they started in their area, right? They're
Wynwood Walls, right?
The Wynwood Walls.
Yeah.
And then there's the Raw project that was created from that went out and started getting walls all over the neighborhood. And now when you go to Wynwood, there's murals everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Have you been down there in the last year, 2 years?
There's a little thing called COVID, and I've been
Right.
stuck here for 7 months.
But no, like now,
I haven't been down to Miami in 2 years now.
I was there years ago when it was like Wynwood Walls. They had like restaurants down there.
They still do.
Now so now there's massive, like they built like a massive apartment building down there. So like the whole area is changing rapidly. Yeah. So it's cool to see. I would love to see that happen here. It'd be like amazing. I guess
Look, this area is going to change,
Yeah.
right? Bridgeport is going to change because there's so much. People that live here love it, and they just want it to get better. And there's people looking from outside. We love it too, and it's going to get better. By having art in place, it's going to mold how it's changed. Where you're going to have more art, hopefully more artful people going, hey, if this is over there, and let's adapt to this area, and that would be a beautiful way to change it, as opposed to let's just throw up buildings that are, wait, there's an art thing here, then it really works, and it's going to attract this kind of person. And the people that want to stay here appreciate the art. Let's make it artful,
Right.
As opposed to something more industrial.
Yeah, I guess the only downside for Bridgeport is like winter. It gets really, really cold here. So like that
I love
outside.
the seasons. I mean, I lived in Miami for a bunch of years.
Yeah.
And okay, it's another sunny day.
Yeah.
I like seeing leaves change. I like it. We don't have that end of the season.
No, I mean more for the art stuff outside. Like when it's January.
Well, hopefully we can
Indoor
reopen
venues.
the galleries here. And
Oh, yeah, that'd be.
But you can pull into the parking lot run
and
out,
look at
take
everything,
a picture,
yeah.
run back.
Yeah,
in.
and honestly, seasons are great because it's like always a reminder of like it's life. You know, it's not always going to be sunny days. There's going to be some rainy days. There's going to be some cold shit days.
Unless you're in Miami.
You allowed to
yeah,
curse on
yeah,
it?
true. Unless you're in
Are
Miami.
we allowed to curse?
Yeah, you could curse.
Oh, yeah,
on it.
yeah.
Oh man, no, I'm just
No, yeah, no. We're plus 18 here.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I just hope Bridgeport does. I hope it's not like another.
You don't need to hope. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are here and you're producing your show here.
Yeah.
I'm here. We're doing this. You know, there's Steel Point. There's a ton of people that have nonprofits in the neighborhood and in Bridgeport that are fighting every day to make things better. And I'm learning how much community and how much like strength there is in Bridgeport and how many good things are because we're doing this. We're talking with other people who are doing great things.
Right.
And it's awesome. I mean, we need to let everybody know how awesome
Bridgeport is.
and
I can't wait
and
to
how
connect
much
you with
good
Harry.
Stuff. Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna. And honestly, we should connect them with Mike too.
I was just thinking
and
Mike
Danny.
Evans too. Yeah.
Like,
So Mike does Full Court
tell him.
Peace, which is, I mean, his story is amazing too. We'll send you his podcast link because you're gonna want to listen to it. I'll give you the short version though. He went to play basketball in Ireland and brought kids from Ireland who, from the Protestant Catholic war, who would never talk to each other, start bringing them to the U.S. to Weston, where he's from, and putting them in like letting them stay with families in Weston and getting them to play basketball together, and then going back to Ireland and kind of trying to break down that barrier. So what he started doing though is refurbishing basketball courts in the projects in inner city, mostly all Connecticut. He has one nonprofit dedicated to just helping inner city basketball courts in Connecticut. So what he does is he gets 5 kids from Westport, Weston area, brings them with 5 kids from P.T. Barnum projects, and they redo the whole basketball court, put up new hoops, paint everything, make everything look good, and then they play basketball.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
that's what
Hell yeah.
he's again breaking down those barriers of like that line you cross when you cross from Bridgeport to Fairfield, So just getting, I think, more people into the community.
I mean, we all need to just talk to each other more and smile more. I went out to greet a father and his daughter, I believe, that were here. And I walked up, and he thought I was going to come say, hey, you can't be here or something like that.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I'm happy you're here. I'm making this for you. I'm making this so people can come and see something different. It's not every day you have bright colors and that. And he goes, thank you, because when I walk through the street, and he lives in the neighborhood, he says, when I walk through the street, people aren't smiling. I mean, we have masks on, but even at a
You could
distance,
tell, yeah.
Yeah.
people aren't smiling and they're not happy. And I understandably, we are all going through a lot of stuff, but I make an effort to smile, because if you smile at somebody, it's the butterfly effect. I strongly believe that.
Yeah.
And so I always try to walk out and greet people and smile and just everyone please smile.
It's funny.
Smiling and saying hi to somebody, how are you, can change a person's entire day. You don't know what that person's going through, what kind of mood they're in at the moment, and just like a friendly, hey, how are you? Can change everything for them that day.
And it's funny. It's how like in our show, this Dream is Free podcast, like everything comes full circle. Like the last person we had come on, or 2 guests ago, Aaron Graham, was literally talking about how smiling, you cannot not smile back when someone smiles at you. It's like you can't do it. He's like,
contagious,
so,
yeah.
exactly. So he's like, it's just funny how it's like, again, we're talking about smiling. And it's just a beautiful thing.
Everything, our whole podcast has been crazy. Every person that we have on, like to the next person, like the things that they're all saying, it might be the people that we attract and get on here, but they all connect in some way. It's interesting.
I think when you're a creator or you're somebody that's doing, at the core, you want to make things better, right? And what's one of the easiest way to make things better is just to lighten someone's mood.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the easiest way. And so when you, oh man, there's one poem like that I love that it just basically dare to be better, dare to be big, and you'll bring people up with you. And that smile is so hard, and that connect in the street or when you don't know somebody, to just look at them and smile.
Right.
Could be the hardest thing.
Yeah.
And that's just, and you do that and you bring
Yeah.
everybody up.
I think coming from New York City, it's like all you do all day long.
Oh,
is
except
just-
in New York.
Yeah, I know.
You smile at somebody in New York, you might end up in a 7-hour
Yeah.
conversation. I don't know.
It's in New York City. You're just constantly walking past people, not connecting with anybody. It's a weird place where
Yeah.
there's so many
Yeah.
people, but so disconnected. You know?
Well, you hear how alone people can be
Yeah.
in New York. You're like, wait, you're surrounded by millions of people. Yeah, but I'm not connecting
Yeah.
with anybody.
It's like it's just normal to walk past everybody. At least like around here, it's like if you're walking down the street, there's only a couple other people you're gonna walk past. You know, that you could say, "Hey, how's it going?"
Even here, though, people are still kind of weird. I feel like the whole Northeast is like,
cold.
yeah,
It is,
you
yeah.
know, like you go down south or
You know what?
go ahead, yeah,
Walk up to people.
yeah, forget it,
Follow
right?
them.
Yeah.
I do it every
Yeah,
morning.
we do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exact. Jake goes to Harborview Deli literally every morning and just
Talks to everybody.
talks
I talk
to
to everybody
everyone.
in there.
Literally.
Yeah.
And do you find? I mean, people at first, you don't know what moment they're in. They might be distracted, whatever. But
Yeah.
you know, if you find the right way to open anybody's, the door, they're going to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You'll see
100%.
people just change on a dime.
I know. It's crazy.
And I walk around St. Mary's with my dog. Everybody knows my dog in my neighborhood. Like everybody. Like,
Because your
they
dog
give-
smiles.
They
at
give her a
everyone.
treat. Yeah, she wags her tail.
That's
She's
it.
happy.
She's
That's
a big
it.
German Shepherd
Yeah.
doggy.
Yeah, she looks scary as hell, but everybody's friends with her. Everybody
Yeah.
likes her. But that's all I do every morning. I just walk around and say, "Hey, how are you? How's it going? I'm Jake. I know everybody in my neighborhood. We met some cool people to get on the podcast from our
literally.
neighborhood. Yeah,
Literally, it's because of Jake. Most of our guests, it's because of Jake just talking to people,
yeah,
getting
just
to know
random
them.
people. Yeah,
Yeah, and now it's like now we have a list of people that we could get to come on because you decided to be
Oh,
nice. And,
Jake.
yeah.
Be nice.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
it. Just be nice to other people.
I know.
The more you give, the more you get.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
What are some other things, Shiran? Photography. Yeah, you know what? This is actually something I'm very curious about
Uh-oh.
because recently Shiran came out of retirement for a photo shoot, and I forget the artist's name or whatever, but he's a young artist. He's coming out soon.
Type wifey.
Okay. And the photos were great. They were amazing photos, like actually really amazing. Like everything from the set to just the shots and the lighting and everything was just like really beautiful photos. So how'd you get started with photography? Like, and what's that journey? Like, cause that's a part of your life that,
Again, if you're a creator, I haven't found one medium that I'm going to stick to, right? So give me anything. Give me a video camera, give me a photo camera, give me a microphone. I'm going to try it all.
Right.
And because I just like to create. So a friend of mine, I don't a million years ago said, "Oh, let's go take this intro to black and white photography." I was like, "All right, let's go." So we went to NYU in continuing education, and we took this class, and I had to buy a camera. And I was right when the first Canon digital camera came out.
wow,
The consumer one.
wow,
I think it was like the D60. And I asked the teacher, like, I know this intro to black and white photography, but can I use this digital camera? He's like, why not? Let's go. So I got this digital camera, and then my friends owned a casting and modeling agency called Twins Talent, where they had identical twins. That was their niche thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, hey, can I get some models? Yeah. And then right away, just because you're on digital, you see instantly. And again, you get it, right? I got it. I got photography, and I always liked doing a lot of lighting.
right,
So just jumped right into photography. And hey, listen, you're around great people,
yeah,
a lot of beautiful people, and,
Yeah.
and it's nice. And I just got to shoot a bunch of stuff and got some magazine covers, got published, got some really cool stuff.
that's cool.
And I there's just something about I love photography. I've directed some music videos too. I like all creative mediums.
Right,
But I never keep it simple for myself. I'm not a daylight photographer. I'm not going to walk out and just be like,
Yeah.
no, it's bright daylight. Okay, let's make it day for night.
yeah.
Let's bring it, So day for night was one of my big things in my photo style, and I did a bunch of shoots.
And if people don't know what day for night is,
You make daytime look like nighttime.
right,
So all the shadows and everything are from the day, and the sun will even look like the moon a bright red moon. But
yeah.
just some really cool stuff.
It's cool. He showed me some of the shots that he did in that shoot, and it came out awesome.
Yeah.
Where'd you go for undergrad? Because you said,
So I went straight out of high school to work.
got it. Sounds
So-
like someone I know.
To the School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about school.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great if you're in school and it works for you because it's a think tank. and your mind is constantly in a pattern of discovery, and you're around other people that are about discovery. So I'm not saying schools and colleges are horrible. I just think it needs to be revamped, more like maybe the sounds of the city.
Yeah, exactly.
I missed that from Manhattan. Not too much. That was enough.
That was just enough.
That was perfect.
3 a.m, ambulances. No, thank you.
Yeah.
That feels all right.
Yeah.
But I think schooling, if you look in the origins of like our schools, it's made to crush your dreams and get you ready for an assembly line. 45 minutes, 1 hour.
Yep.
Okay, so wait, I'm going to be interested in math right now, and I'm into it. Oh, stop being interested in math. Move on. Now it's time for science.
Right.
I
still want to do math,
groove in
though. Yeah.
So I think like programs like Montessori, we need to create something like that for adults. When you're in college, and even the whole thing, we're going to quiz you. We're not going to tell you what it's going to be on. It might be on anything you've learned all year. What?
Yeah, I know.
Life
No
doesn't work in
preparation
like
for that.
Yeah.
Imagine if like he's like, I'm bringing in someone you're going to interview.
Well, you
I'm not
can't know
telling you
anything.
anything about him. You just got to be ready. Yeah, you can do the interview.
Yeah.
You might miss a lot of important points.
But
Yeah.
it'd be better if you have time to prep
Right.
for
It's like,
it
oh,
and know what it is.
Sharon's coming in tomorrow.
I never even thought about that with tests. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
Like-
Thankfully, Mike and I
Yeah.
were never school people.
yeah,
Really. Like
I know.
I barely went to high school.
Yeah. We barely graduated high school, actually.
Barely.
It's
Like
crazy.
I went to the alternative high school, and the only reason I went is because they were like, "Look, you just have to show up here like
And you'll
3
get your-
hours
yeah.
a day and
Well-
pretend that you're doing something, and we'll pass you." And I was like, "All right, sounds good
Yeah.
to me."
I kind of got the same speech.
Yeah.
But I think it's such an injustice to kids because when you don't fit into that mold,
Right.
You're
you're
like an outcast.
automatically
Yeah.
an outcast.
Shunned.
And I told my mom because I have a son now, and we did put him
Wilder.
in
Shout out Wilder.
DJ Wild.
Yeah, it's so awesome. He's such a little fire rocket.
We put him into a Montessori, and the reason why I picked a Montessori is because I walked in there, the kids were up and about, they're
Right.
happy, and I go, "This is school. This is how school."
What is
Well,
a
yeah,
Montessori? What is
I
it?
don't know what that is either.
A Montessori school is basically they put 3 years of kids together, so you'll have 4, 5, and 6-year-olds or in the same class. So the 4-year-olds are learning from the 5 and 6-year-olds, and they're looking at it's like kind of like how school used to be maybe back in the day, and the kids learn lessons as they want. So when you're ready, you see an older kid doing his spelling exercise, and maybe the younger kid looks at that and goes, "What is that? I'm interested." Versus now you're learning your letters.
Yeah.
Right.
How are you going to tell this little being that's just like, I'm an amoeba. I'm just like free flowing.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell them, sit down, don't move. And then if they do move, the kid's got ADD. What?
No, it's true.
It's really hard for a kid for people
Us.
like us who
Yeah.
probably had ADD or whatever it is. Like we're like I just could not.
Didn't have
sit-
ADD. Sorry, don't say like.
No, we were just kids.
Yeah.
No, but like that whole. I think the guy that coined it was like, sorry, I was just doing it for making money.
Yeah. Literally.
Listen, I'm not saying that it's a silver bullet, but I'm saying, and I talked to a lot of parents before picking that school, and they said, listen, I had one kid that it worked awesome the whole school career because you have to have a child that goes, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Just like you guys are going to go out and buy all this equipment and set it up and do this, your kid has to be able to do things on
Their
and
own.
be some self-discipline
Right.
in this freedom. And they said for my other child, they needed a little more of that rigid form.
Right.
So that's not like, it's not one size fits all.
Yeah.
But I told my mom, I'm like, listen, my whole schooling, I was miserable.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
I know.
you sat me in a desk
Yeah.
and I got it. Like I wasn't like, I just had that kind of thing where I got history. I can pull stuff up from like second grade European history, whatever grade that was. I got it. I just wasn't motivated.
Yeah.
And I said, the school, instead of complaining about me and putting me in detention because I was fidgeting in my chair, they should have, you're paying for private schools. We get a refund.
Yeah.
Because they didn't do their job.
Right.
And they didn't go, we have to adapt to this child and figure out how we're going to teach them.
Right.
You guys are the pros.
Yeah.
You're telling me I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it my way.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Like.
I'm like, and here's proof. Like I'm not, I'm creative. I'm a go-getter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Like there's not bad qualities there. Like when you're young, you know what I mean? Those are great qualities to have. It's like you said, there has to be some sort of change, especially with like teachers. I remember when we were in 6th grade, that's actually for some reason, I was doing okay in school up until middle school. And then middle school hit and I was just like,
Your hormones kicked in.
Class clown. Yeah, exactly. Class clown, girls, sports, don't care about school, you know? And my 6th grade science teacher literally told my mom, yeah, he has ADD. He needs to get meds. Like, we need to put him on meds.
Yeah, it's like, let's numb this kid so that they can
literally, I went and took the test. I freaking passed it. Flying colors.
Yeah.
And they still wanted to put me on meds.
That's crazy.
My mom, you know, Theodora said,
absolutely
no,
not.
absolutely
Yeah,
not.
thankfully, my mom was the same way. Like, we're not putting him on medication.
My mom was like, is that stuff good? You want a microdose?
Yeah, it's crazy. No, yeah, it's like, it's crazy, man. It's just like, there's got to be change. My favorite educational experience was literally my last year of school.
I liked for alternative. They put me in alternative high school, and one day a week, which was like my favorite day, is like you were able to pick a nonprofit organization, or you were able to go work with like the town or something like that, and you did community service all day long. So like I would go with the conservation department in Fairfield, and we would go plant trees, and like we were doing all this cool stuff. That was my favorite day of the week. Like I liked going that day, you know, like the guys would come pick us up, we jump in the van, we get breakfast, we'd go plant trees.
Take it up a notch.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's one thing to say, well, we should adapt, but it's a challenge for everybody too, that every day you should do something that challenges you.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's say you're in the school but if you don't like learning how to use a spreadsheet, you should dive into that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if you do want to run your own business and you don't know how to organize your numbers and you're never going to you might not be able to work unless you bring on somebody that's going to do it for you. But
right.
At first, we got to do a lot by ourselves.
Yeah.
Right. And it's challenge yourself. You might not love math, but dive into it a little bit.
Yeah.
You might not love. So it's not just a free pass. I don't want to say, you know, free pass, live free.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
It's like, hey, challenge yourself every day too.
Yeah.
You know, give yourself a deadline. If you tell somebody, hey, I'm going to get you footage.
But how much more?
This guy, he loves yanking my chain. I swear to God, he does.
How much more
So
interesting would
funny.
it be if you took a kid who was in school and said, "Hey, if you want to, you know, what do you want to do when you grow up?" And they're like, "Oh, well, I want to start a fashion business, right?" And then you said to them, "Okay, well, in this business, like you're gonna have to have some sort of understanding of Excel spreadsheets, you know, and then adapt that Excel spreadsheet learning for them to how they can use it in a fashion business, you know." Yeah, I think that would be.
Well, when you're making a dress,
yeah.
all right, how much did the yarn, how much did the thread cost you? How much did the cloth cost you? How much did the seamstress, how much did the pattern, put that all out. Now you know this cost me $700 to make. How much do I need? How many hours did I put in? Like, people don't realize that. Pay yourself and make sure you include your time in it.
Yeah.
So if you spent 8 hours designing that, you got to add those 8 hours into your cost.
Right.
So like it might, in raw material that you found, it cost you $700, but you put 8 hours. Let's say you're worth $25 an hour.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I was going to
there's
just say,
another
what's your
200.
advice to people who are starting off, you know, like who know their worth, but they are just starting off.
So that know your worth is a hard one.
Right?
Okay.
Especially for an artist.
Do you know your worth, or do you think you know your worth? Or do you go, hey, I'm CEO of my brand new company and I should be getting $150 an hour for what?
Right.
You know, don't be afraid to apprentice. Don't be afraid to be humble and learn.
Right.
I wish I would have saved a lot of time if I had worked for another company
and learn the ropes.
and then also know when to quit. Go, I learned what I can from you, and it was very hard for me to do that from my 16 to 20 when I was working for 2 other companies. I learned a little bit, but I should have gone bigger in another company and learned some more. So it's incredible to go apprentice, go find a mentor. Don't think you know it all.
Yeah, of course.
At any age.
Right.
Even now, I would love to find an amazing mentor who would be like, you know.
Yeah. Like Dan Pena. That's our guy. Do you know Dan Pena?
I don't.
Oh, look him up. He wants to become the second American-born prime minister of England. He's like this 70, 80-year-old billionaire, Mexican-American, first generation.
Yeah.
And he
He's
just
got a crazy story.
Yeah, he does. It's really crazy, but he'd
He's
be
in old school. He's like calls all the younger generation snowflakes.
Snowflakes. Yeah.
There's some truth to that.
Yeah, no, and that's we love him. We love him because we think the same thing. There are a lot of snowflakes out here. You know what I mean? Soft people out here.
I mean, I still work a 20-plus hour day.
Yeah.
And
It's
we
insane.
have some people that worked with us, and they're like, I'm like, I'm in my 40s. I've been doing this forever. Like, not only am I going to set up a job, I'm going to dance as an MC or DJ. I'm going to break down with you guys.
Literally.
I'm going to come back, and I could be your dad. I'm twice your age.
And that's fact. We actually did it this weekend. Shout out Shiran. And he literally, you know, he did it all. Like, actually, he really did. Like, we came later. We were mostly the videographers and helped him break down at the end of the night, but everything was set up. I'm talking like wires everywhere. Very nice. You don't even know they're there, though. You know, I'm not trying to say they're just sticking out. And then it's something that stuck out to me that day is like we were by the wedding reception area, the actual where they got married, and Shiran and I are coiling, cleaning up one part of this area because we didn't need it anymore there. And he said to me, he's like, you know, I've been doing this for the last 30 years. You know, and it's just like, wow. Like, and then, you know, and he says it now, it's 20-hour days. You know what I mean? It's not, I know it's not just the Nicholson events the last 30 years. I know it's been so much stuff. So it's like, it's impressive.
I mean, when you want people around you to work, give 110%, you give 120%, like it's a lot easier for those people around you to do it.
Well, that brings another one of my things is lead by example, right?
Yeah.
Right.
How can I tell you, hey, get off your butt and do
Yeah.
what you have to do, if I'm going to be like, that wire over there.
Yeah.
You know,
No, for real. Yeah. Like,
I try to, and you know, it goes back to knowing a little bit about everything.
Right.
When we're setting up lighting for a show, that I can walk up to my light tech and go, all right, I need this gobo like this, and you know, and I understand the programs. It makes the conversation so much easier. And that's why I'm like, challenge yourself and learn a little bit about whatever industry you're in, so that when you're talking with other people, they're going to respect you because you know what you're talking about, and you know the full capacity. You know, like I can sit here and I can look at your cameras and work with you and go, if we have this idea, I know what we can do.
Yeah.
And it's important to kind of explore, and even if you're uncomfortable about something, dive into it and don't be afraid to ask.
Right.
yeah. Like we had our good friend TJ on here who has been a big mentor for both of us, especially me. I do mortgages, and he's the one that got me into the mortgage industry and taught me the whole business. But
I did that for a little minute.
mortgages,
Yeah.
it's
Wow.
been a lot of fun this year. Yeah.
He said it's been a lot of fun
So
this year.
I've been doing it I started doing it when I was 21, so I've been doing it for almost 8 years. 8 years.
He said,
Yeah.
that's a compliment.
And he, I mean, the whole time I've been working with him, like he's just always the hardest worker in the room, you know? So it's like, it's easy to work with him and learn from him because he's the one who's putting in a lot of the work, you know? So it's like when I show up to work with him, he's there early in the morning, we leave late at night. So it's just like, he's always available. And it's like, he's good at getting other people to put in their best effort because he's always putting in his best effort, you know? And that's one of the biggest things I've learned from him is like, just go into everything enthusiastically, put the energy into it, and show other people that you care about it and they're going to care about it too.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things when I was a young delinquent, I was kind of snowflakey, right? And someone that I call my godfather turned around and he said, money never sleeps. So when I came in at 5, 6 in the morning to his business, you know, to work, I'm like, I'm tired. He's like, money never sleeps. Let's go. Excuses are for the weak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a harsh way.
Yeah.
But don't make excuses. You're putting up, you know, you're like, so just go in, do it. No excuse. And if you have a legitimate issue, I'm not going to call it an excuse.
Yeah.
Then people will respect that. Like, dude, I met this super hot girl and I'm going to be late tomorrow. Okay. I respect that.
That's okay once in a while. You can't use that one.
Yeah.
Well, then an issue becomes a chronic issue. And then
Right.
Right.
So there's a once in a while issue.
Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, so I don't know, man. I think this has been a crazy talk. Like,
we got into a lot.
I feel like there's more though. I feel like you're hiding stuff from us.
Dude, there's so much. I mean, look, I've done a lot of stuff. I've traveled a lot. I've been a DJ for a billion years, and you know, from vinyl when vinyl wasn't trendy, when that's all we had, to now, where I've seen a lot in New York. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff in my life. Yeah. So, you know, we can do another interview when you discover more about me. It's hard for me. I feel like we've talked more about society and making things better.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's I think
I
that's
know.
That's a good talk.
It is a great talk.
that's what
No, I
makes
know.
me strong. Whatever I went through, listen. The truth about me is I just work all the time. My family has issue with it. I've been working weekends since I was 16.
Yeah.
I've missed one party when my grandfather passed away, but there was never sick. There was never a sprained ankle, and I've danced on sprained ankles. I've had my early 20 tequila binge where I was puking, but the next day I went and worked.
Yeah.
I've done 72 hours of events straight without
Wow.
sleep. So I'm just when you boil it down, I'm always working. So if please find balance in your lives, and hopefully you get into things in life where you can take a break.
Yeah.
I haven't had a vacation, what I call a vacation, in maybe 14 years or something like that. So I don't even know how to have a day off.
Sound like Dan Pena right now.
Yo, he does, right?
Yeah, for real. Because
Like a
should meet
young,
Dan.
you need to go, and you need
he's like, work-life balance? What the fuck is that?
Well,
he's
here's
like, I
the
didn't
thing.
take a vacation for 20 years building my business.
literally.
Yeah.
Well, because part of that is that I find such satisfaction, even in getting your door fixed, for example.
Yeah.
Like I like accomplishing things, and there's satisfaction in that. And maybe I'm at a point, I'll have time in my life where I can go lay on a beach. I do need it. I do need to change.
Yeah.
But I love what I do.
Yeah.
I love the events. I love DJing. I don't know if you saw me DJ. a little
Yeah,
on
of
Friday.
course.
I mean, it wasn't we're in COVID, so it wasn't a raging party. But
Right.
I still love making people happy and
Yep.
love DJing. I love emceeing. I love everything that we're doing at this building. To sit out here for 3 days and watch that Roses mural go up
I know.
Right.
was just awesome.
I know, and the way she was doing it, dude, she had a stick brush. She attached a brush on a stick, dude, and she's
I'm like, we'll buy you whatever. No, but there was. I don't think there was an extension.
but
brush
just like
that.
it was just like the fact that she could paint that.
Jenna Morello.
Jenna, yep. I'm like, I'm watching her. If I did it, dude, that mural would look way different.
But listen, we all have our skill set.
Right. Yeah,
We're not
yeah,
all
yeah.
great at everything we do. So I'm sure if you want to learn,
Right,
you gotta
right.
start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's some things I don't think I can learn, and one of them is drawing or stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough.
That's not my
So
skill.
I'll drop another thing then.
Here we go,
based on
guys.
that. We're the programmer, right?
Yep.
Me, myself, and I. There's the program that we've had in life, and then we're the programmers, and then there's the code that's like the subconscious, right?
Right.
So I don't like saying I can't. If you really wanted to draw,
Yeah, I'm sure if I put the time in.
but doesn't
No,
that
no,
change
yeah.
things?
Yeah.
You went from I can't draw to
Well, right now, I cannot draw. I'm a stick figure.
well, you could draw something that people will find art.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So I'm a strong believer in rewriting the program. Whenever you have a bad thought or a thought that you don't want, right? Because no thoughts are bad, because if they lead us somewhere that they thought was good, right?
Right.
But I say we're the programmers, and when you're going a certain way, I'm rewriting the program. I don't want to think that anymore.
Yeah.
And it helps, and really focus on the good things in your life.
Yeah.
Even at the worst of times,
Yeah.
like, what's good? And it'll change. And it goes back to that smile. Even if you can't do anything, walk out and smile at somebody. The fact that they smile back, take that as your first step.
Do you do affirmations? I ask a lot of people this because I'm like gung ho about affirmations right now. Like morning and night affirmations. It's been my like ritual since the like first week of COVID, actually, March. And it's honestly, I believe it's changed my life. Like,
So that's rewriting the program.
yeah, I'm rewriting my subconscious. Any fucked up shit
Correct.
I've got going on in my subconscious from my
Correct.
first 7 years, I'm rewriting it.
Right.
I mean,
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You're being the programmer, but I always use like the magician, like the wizard analogy. Like if you see a young wizard, he's looking through the book and he's got to read and he's got to do all these things. But when he's the wizard, he just goes whoosh,
Yeah.
and things happen.
yeah.
So you're doing the affirmations. One day, the thing is, be mutable. Not everything is going to be the thing you got to do your whole life.
Yeah.
And at one point, you're going to learn how to program.
Yeah.
And you're not going to need to do those affirmations, because in the split second, your mind's going to go right, and you're going to no, we're going straight.
Uh-huh.
And that's what those affirmations are going to put in place.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and then when maybe you lose that for a little bit and you go back to the affirmations.
Right.
So be mutable.
Yeah.
And be the programmer.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. think that's a good.
And money never sleeps, and no excuses.
I love it.
Don't be a snowflake.
Don't be a snowflake.
Yeah. Where can real quick shout out where we can find either you or the Knowlton or anything on social media?
We're reorganizing the social media, but it's the Knowlton.
On Instagram,
Just
right?
I'd say just go to the
It's
Knowlton.
the Knowlton on Instagram. It's the Knowlton on Facebook. We're really working hard to make sure everything's the Knowlton.
Yeah.
Come see the walls.
Yes.
Hashtag us, please. Hashtag
Yes.
the Knowlton walls.
305 Knowlton Street.
Right in Bridge Upper. It's the east side of Bridgeport.
Yep.
We're right off 95 in the Merritt.
Yep. Yeah, literally.
Conveniently located next to the Metro North train station as
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
You need to take a train here.
My entertainment company is Nicholson Events, and across all social media, it's Nicholson Events, at Nicholson Events. Just bring your positivity here.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say. Bring everyone to see the walls, and hopefully soon I'd love to have a dialogue about hope.
Yeah.
What does hope mean?
Right.
That'd be real. I think I don't know.
I think we need to do a round table
We do.
podcast.
We
with
do.
a couple people that have
Yes.
been on the podcast
Yes.
already, where we could maybe just have like this hope discussion
Yeah.
and get a meeting of the minds in here because
You have no idea. Like that would be all
a few people from that are gonna be amazing.
We could even shoot it downstairs in the gallery. It would be a perfect.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right in that center. Have cameras all around there, and you guys are just there, intimate.
That's our homework for
Yeah.
today is to organize that and
Yeah.
connect you with Harry Bell.
Yeah.
awesome.
Seriously.
And I have to meet Dan.
Dan Pena.
Is that someone you know?
No. He's like a mentor of ours from the
call him up.
distance.
Let's call him
well,
up.
I mean, what's funny? Brian Rose.
Whoever's watching, if you know 6 Degrees of Separation, Dan Pena, get him in contact with us. You can come through the Knowlton or Downtime
TV. Yep.
Sorry,
Yeah.
It's okay.
Coffee's not completely catering. But come on, Dan, call us. Enough messing around.
It's funny because Dan Pena, Brian Rose, he's another YouTuber type of dude. He's got a channel called London Real, and it's all about transforming yourself. He's even documented him. He used to be a big time banker. He's documented himself going to do ayahuasca in Costa Rica. Like he's there, And Dan Pena emails him out of nowhere personally, and he emails like this. He goes like this. He's so old. He'll be like, "I'm coming to see you." You know what I mean?
That's a young way of messaging. Sorry.
Well, yeah. It's like young
he threw
and
an
old.
emoji in there.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
come
All
on.
right. Then he sealed the deal. Yeah, but who knows? Maybe he will see this. I mean, I'm gonna tag him in this.
Sorry for calling you old.
Yeah, you're young in spirit. But this was a great show. We're definitely gonna have you in here again, and we're gonna see you guys next time. Appreciate you guys.
Sounds good. Thank you.